Dear student, today we will discuss about inert mode and measuring field length on the results which are being obtained by using capacitance type of evenness testers. In previous presentations we had discussed various methods for measuring the evenness of the materials. The latest and most versatile method that is being currently used is capacitance type of the testers. This more than 99% of the industries they are using this method for examining the unevenness or evenness of the material that is being produced by them. So let us discuss what happens with the inert mode and how measuring field is affecting your results. Let us first discuss the inert mode systems. Basically there are three types of mode in any capacitance type of the testing equipment. There are three modes. One is normal mode, another is inert mode, and another one is half inert mode. In case of normal mode, cut length is equal to the length of measuring field that is being used. Suppose if you are testing a yarn, there the length of the capacitor plates is 8 mm. That means cut length is 8 mm. We are measuring the mass of 8 mm length of the materials. Now whatsoever speed you are running, whether you are working your instrument on 200 meters per minute, whether you are working it at 400 meters per minute, or whatsoever is the speed, the cut length in normal mode, the cut length is always equal to the length of the measuring field or length of the capacitors that is being used. Suppose if you are measuring the irregular TU percent or CV percent of a sliver, in that case you are using measuring field length of 20 mm. So their cut length is equal to 20 mm. So whatsoever material you are using, if you are working in a normal mode, in that case cut length is always equal to the length of the measuring field that is being used by the, means if you are testing the yarn, the cut length will be 8 mm irrespective of the speed with which you are working. However, if you are testing your material in half inert mode or inert mode, in that case the cut length is not equal to the length of the measuring field. Now it is dependent upon the speed with which you are working. If you change the speed, other parameters being same, and you are working in half inert mode, then the cut length will be equal to 0.014 times the speed with which you are working. Suppose if you are running the material at 100 meters per minute, in that case the in half inert mode the cut length will be equal to 1.4 meters. Similarly in inert mode it is 4 times, means 0.056 into the speed with which you are working. If you are working at a speed of 100 meters per minute in complete inert mode, in that case your cut length will be equal to 5.6 meters. So remember, in normal mode the cut length is independent of the speed with which you are working. It is equal to the length of the measuring field. However, if you are working with half inert mode or inert mode, in that case the cut length that is equal to, that is dependent upon the speed with which you are working and is equal to some factor which is equal to 0.014 in case of half inert mode and 0.056 in case of inert mode, multiplied by the speed with which you are working, means it is now dependent upon the speed at which you are testing the materials. Generally we have three types of the capacitors in our 20 mm, 12 mm and 8 mm. 20 mm is generally used for slivers, 12 mm is used for rovings, and 8 mm is being used for testing the yarns. This is the length of the capacitor plates, and this length is also equal to your measuring length or cut length, whatsoever you call. What should the cut length should be as small as possible. The cut length that must be as small as possible so that the all variations present in the material, they are being detected. So theoretically it should be 0 or quite near to 0. However, these are the cut lengths as we had discussed: 8 mm, 12 mm and 20 mm. So why we use these cut length? For measuring the irregularity of the materials, means yarn, sliver or rovings. This figure denotes the indication of the variations. 100 variations are present. How much variations will be indicated by the instrument against the wavelength or cut length? If periodic variations are there, definitely the wavelength will have a great impact on display of the variations present in the materials. Suppose if you are having a wavelength of 2 mm, 3 mm and you are measuring in a field of 8 mm, so many variations average out and they will not be reflected in the results. So here it has been shown the ratio of indicated to the actual present. 90, if it is 90, means 90% of the variations will be shown by the instrument, it will be showing. Basically what happens if you are testing a sliver, in that case the maximum amplitude of the variations that corresponds to 4 times the average staple length. Means if you are having 1 inch, 2.1 inch means 2.54 centimeter cut length, then 4 times of that means approximately 10 centimeter. At 10 centimeter the maximum amplitude will be there if you are testing a sliver. If you are testing a yarn, then the corresponding values are varies from 2.5 to 3 times the average fiber length. If it is 1 inch means 2.54 centimeters, so multiplied by 2.5 or 2.7, say let us take a middle point of this 2.5 to 3, 2.75, so it works out around 7 centimeters. So the maximum amplitude of the variations will be corresponding to 7 centimeters in case of yarn, and in case of slivers it corresponds to 10 centimeters. Below 1 inch length nobody is using to make a quality yarns. It can be a waste material yarns, but For a quality answer, minimum length should be 1 inch or higher than that. So now see that with 5, 6, 7, so if in 8 gauge length, so more than 96-97% of the variations they are being covered, which is having a maximum amplitude corresponding to 7 centimeters with 1 inch mean fiber length. The maximum amplitudes corresponding to, in case of yarns, corresponds to around 6.5 to 7 centimeters minimum. If it is higher than that, then even more amount of the variations will be indicated. So we can say that the ratio of indicated to actual with a cut length, capacitor length, it is able to cover more than 97-96% of the variations. Similarly, when you are testing a sliver with 20 capacitor length, we had calculated that it is around 10 centimeter with 2.54, 1 inch, minimum 1 inch length means 2.54 centimeters, multiplied by 4, it works out to be 10 centimeters, and with 10 centimeters and 20 capacitor length, more than 95% of the variations present in the materials, they are being indicated by the instrument. Since with these capacitor length we are able to cover more than 95, 96, 90% of the variations present in the materials, they are being indicated, they are being shown by the instruments. So that's why these we need not to go length lesser than that. Say if we are having 8 length, why we don't use 8 length in case of sliver? Because if you recall, the material should not more than 40% of the space between the two capacitor plates. If these are the two capacitor plates, the material should not occupy more than 40% of the space between the capacitor plates. If you use 8 the plates will be at a quite far apart, need to large distances, and signals may be weakened. If you take 20 the signals will be higher, since you are not much compromise is there in the display of the irregularities. That's why instead of taking 8 for slivers, we take 20 because more than 95% of the variations are being shown by the instrument with 20 So that's why to get good quality of the signals, better quality of the signals, we use 20 in case of slivers. So this is about length of the capacitor plates and the impact on the results which are being indicated by the machine. Thanks a lot for paying attention to my video. Thanks to all.